So like we said, this gap we feel is the origin of creativity. It's from where creativity comes. And in that sense, there's nobody being creative. There's nobody doing creative things at the quantum level. At the quantum level, it just happens in front of you. So Einstein, for instance, said that the great achievements of science must start from intuitive knowledge. It's another way of saying from the gap.
Intuition's more about letting go, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right? You can't really make intuition happen.
No.
He also said, this is so interesting. This is Einstein, right? Kind of the quintessential scientist. He said, I am enough of an artist to draw freely upon my imagination. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world.
So the source of imagination, remember, imagination means to make images. Imagine that. You're making an image. The source of imagination is intuition. Intuition is based on the question. From a spiritual point of view, your question is, what? Where's the gap? What takes you into adaptive creativity, into what is this? What's going on? But the question, what, comes from the gap, comes from the intuition.
Maybe let's talk, can we talk a little bit, you're referring to quantum creativity and adaptive creativity, and I'm not sure everyone, if people have read Wasteland to Pure Land, they know what we mean, but if they haven't, they may not.
Do you want to explain it? Adaptive creativity?
Well, quantum creativity are those world-changing arisings, life-changing arisings. It could be the discovery of fire. Can you imagine sort of being the first person to think about flint and striking flint together? That occurring to somebody? Or it could be just realizing, oh my gosh, I don't want to be a doctor, I want to be an artist. That could be quantum creativity for an individual. If it's a radical life change. For example, can you think of any other examples?
Whoever came up with the idea that the sun was the center of the solar system rather than the Earth, because centuries people thought Earth was the center.
Galileo.
And then somebody came along and said, whoa, the data indicates that we're not the center. So they used adaptive creativity, the studying of the data, and they went, whoa, the data doesn't fit with with what we consider to be true. What's going on here? Goes into the question, what's going on here, opens his mind to not having to hang on to an old object, and the insight comes that the Earth is not the center of the universe, or the solar system. The Earth is. And of course, that was radical, revolutionary, and what's the word? Not sacrilegious.
Yeah, it was heretical.
Heretical.
Yeah.
Subversive, heretical.
Oh, we had a nice moment of what I think of as quantum creativity. We were in South Africa and in Kruger National Park, amazing, amazing place. And you can, inside the park, you can only stay at certain camps, and they're full of people and quite crowded around the camps. And we thought, well, Kruger Park's so huge, let's get away from all the people, and then we'll really see some wildlife, because the people in the cars are keeping all the wildlife away. And we drove all day long, further and further out, you know, almost off the map. And we saw less and less, and like we weren't even hardly seeing birds and insects. We kind of eventually gave up and went back, and we got closer to the camp, and there's like herds of elephants and giraffes, and all of a sudden it dawned on us that the animals are actually attracted to where the people are, because they're attracted to higher consciousness. Everything is attracted to higher consciousness.
Oh.
That was an aha moment.
That was an aha moment. Imagination arises from the images that we present to ourselves. So if we present images of I'm no good, there's something wrong with me, I'm not smart enough, I could da blah blah do, right? Then the imagination is going to feed you that data. The subconscious feeds you the data that you're expecting to hear. So if you put a new imagination in the equation,
and there's not any space in those thoughts.
No.
Right? So there's quantum creativity is not going to be able to arise.
Exactly.
Because those are heavy, the heavy thoughts.
So the important part with imagination is to create a field of question that leads you to new territory, new understandings, and new openings, which means you have to let go of the habitual mind, the same old dialogues running on, right? And so the easiest way to do this is to, what are you curious about? What engages you? What is it that makes you kind of want to step out of the form, out of the mold of what you do every day, and takes you to new territory, new land, where you're not just running the program, right?
And I like a kind of alternate take on that. What is it you really are not attracted to and don't want to do or explore? Because if you can get interested in that, then it gets really curious.
Because sometimes what you're not attracted to is actually your greatest strength, but you don't know it yet.
Or your greatest potential.
Your greatest potential, because you haven't met it yet.